Listener's Paradise presents A Song of Life by H.W. Longfellow. In this presentation, we would be talking about the poem. I would be reading it out for you. Like always, I would be explaining the important words, the important concepts in the poem, the important stanzas, the meanings which are to be conveyed, as also the rhyme scheme of the poem. So let's go about describing the poem. First, I will read it out for you. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real. Life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow find us farther than today. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb, driven cattle. Be a hero in the strife. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present. Heart within and God overhead. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing over life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing. Learn to labor and to wait. These are a few of the important words in this poem. Please note them down for your reference. Please note these down as well. Now we'll begin by explaining the poem to you. In the first stanza, Longfellow begins the poem by rejecting the notion that life is meaningless. Here you can see the phrase, "Tell me not in mournful numbers." This sentence or this phrase, mournful numbers, it likely refers to melancholic, pessimistic thoughts or verses that proclaim life to be futile. The speaker asks us not to succumb to the idea that life is merely an empty dream. This view implies that life lacks purpose and substance. This kind of thinking is considered harmful because it leads to a kind of spiritual lethargy or apathy. When the poet says, "For the soul is dead that slumbers," he is warning us against a mere passive existence. A slumbering soul, one that is inactive or complacent, is as good as dead. This line suggests that life demands active participation and engagement. Moreover, the concluding line of the first stanza says, "And things are not what they seem." So it encourages us as listeners, as readers, to look beyond appearances and surface level experiences to find deeper meaning and truths in life. It is a call by the poet to recognize that life has intrinsic value and purpose, contrary to the view that it is an illusion or devoid of meaning. In the second stanza, Longfellow affirms the reality and seriousness of life. He is declaring here that life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. So here the poet is emphasizing that life is genuine and full of importance. The use of such kind of strong declarative exclamative sentences, these underscore the intensity and conviction behind these statements. By stating that the grave is not its goal, the poet is refuting the idea that death is the ultimate end of life. He is implying that life has a purpose beyond merely culminating in a death. Yeah? The line, "Dust do art, to dust returnest," is a reference to the biblical phrase from Genesis, which speaks to the mortality of the human body. Longfellow uses this reference to highlight the distinction between the physical body and the soul. While the body may be transient and return to dust, the soul is eternal and it is not subject to the same fate. Thus, the second stanza, it conveys a profound belief in the enduring nature of the human spirit. It suggests that life's true purpose and meaning are found in the soul's journey and its actions, not merely in its physical existence. In the third stanza of this beautiful poem, Longfellow further continues to explore the purpose of life. He keeps asserting that it is not defined by pleasure, where he points or uses the term enjoyment, or sorrow or suffering. Yeah, so that is not the purpose of life. Instead, the purpose of life, according to the poet, it lies in action. The line he uses to describe this is our destined end or way, which suggests that life's ultimate goal and path are not merely to seek happiness or to endure sorrow. Rather, it is to engage in meaningful actions that can lead to progress and growth of the person. But to act that each tomorrow find it farther than today is a powerful message by Longfellow to continuously improve ourselves and advance ourselves in life. So the poet is emphasizing the importance of striving and making progress day by day. The idea is that each action taken today should contribute to personal growth and lead to a better tomorrow. This forward-looking perspective encourages a proactive approach to life, where individuals are motivated to achieve and pursue their goals rather than passively experiencing life's ups and downs. In the next stanza, which is the fourth stanza of this poem, Longfellow contrasts the enduring nature of art with the transient nature of time. He begins this stanza with the line, "Art is long and time is fleeting." So art is long, it suggests that the creations and achievements of human endeavor have lasting value and can endure through ages. This is contrasted with time is fleeting, which reminds us that our lives are short and time passes quickly. The poet acknowledges the strength and courage of human hearts, yet he also recognizes their mortality. He is saying, "And our hearts, though stout and brave," yeah? So, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. So the metaphor, like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave, it poignantly illustrates the inevitable approach to death. The muffled drums, it evolves a solemn, quiet sound, often associated with funeral processions, signifying the march towards death that everyone ultimately experiences. This stanza beautifully underscores the urgency of making the most of our time, given the brief nature of human life. It serves as a reminder to create and achieve things of lasting value. For example, art is long, as the poet says, before our time runs out. The imagery of the funeral march imparts a sense of solemnity and inevitability, reinforcing the importance of living a purposeful and active life. In the fifth stanza, Longfellow uses the metaphor of life as a battleground to emphasize the struggles and challenges we face. He begins the stanza with the lines, "In the world's broad field of battle." It suggests that life is vast and filled with conflicts that must be navigated through. Yeah? The next line refers to a temporary camp, implying that our lifetime here on earth is temporary and we must be prepared for the battles ahead. The poet warns us against being passive and conformity with the lines, "Be not like dumb, driven cattle." So this is a very vivid image which suggests that we should not be mindless followers, passively driven by circumstances or by others. We should not be easily influenced. Instead, we are encouraged to be a hero in the strife. So this advocates a action call for bravery, for having leadership, and active engagement in life's challenges. It suggests that we should face life's difficulties with courage and strive to make a meaningful impact. Longfellow further advises us in the next stanza against placing too much reliance on the future, no matter how promising it may seem. Trust no future, however pleasant. So that these important lines, they encourage us to focus on the present rather than being distracted by the future possibilities. Similarly, the poet says, "Let the dead past bury its dead." It suggests that we should not dwell on the past or let it hinder our progress. The emphasis is on the living in the present moment and taking action now, where he's saying, act in the living present. So he is declaring that you should not be stuck up in the past, do not blindly trust a pleasant future, but live in the present and work towards achieving your goals. The final line of the stanza says, heart within and God overhead provides a source of strength and guidance. Heart within implies that we should draw on our inner courage and convictions. And God overhead suggests that we should also have faith and trust in a higher power. This stanza reinforces the theme of active, purposeful living, guided by both inner strength and spiritual faith. Towards the end of this poem, the poet highlights the inspirational power of the lives of great individuals. You will often find these lines, this stanza, the seventh stanza, quoted in a lot of different places. So I'll read out the stanza first. The lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. So the lives of great men all remind us. It suggests that we can learn from the examples set by those who have achieved greatness. These examples serve as reminders that we too can strive to live extraordinary lives. So we can make our lives sublime. We can live extraordinary lives like these great individuals. Next, the poet is using a metaphor. Footprints on the sands of time. It conveys the idea of leaving a lasting impact. Just as footprints leave a mark on the sand, our actions can leave a legacy that endures beyond our lifetimes. This imagery emphasizes the importance of living a life of significance where our contributions and achievements can inspire and benefit future generations. The next stanza is the eighth stanza, where the poet continues the metaphor of footprints in this stanza as well. So he's saying, footprints that perhaps another sailing over life's solemn main. It suggests that the legacies that we leave behind can provide hope and encouragement to others. Sailing over life's solemn main, it refers to navigating the vast and often difficult journey of life. Then the poet is saying, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother. So this line, this image, forlorn, somebody who is shipwrecked, represents someone who is struggling or has faced significant setbacks. So the footprints left by others can serve as a source of inspiration for those who are struggling. Seeing shall take heart again suggests that when others see the examples of perseverance and achievement left by great individuals, they can regain hope and find the courage to continue their own journeys, to work towards their own goals. This stanza powerfully underscores the interconnectedness of human experiences and the potential for individual actions to positively impact others. The ninth stanza is the final stanza of this beautiful poem. It is a call to action as a message by the poet, which is aimed at encouraging us to be up and doing. So the poet is saying, let us then be up and doing. It encourages positive engagement with life. With a heart for any fate, it suggests that we should face whatever comes our way with courage and resilience. The lines, still achieving, still pursuing, emphasize the importance of continuous effort and striving for goals. This reflects the theme of ongoing progress and self-improvement present throughout the poem. The closing line, learn to labor and to wait, highlights the dual virtues of hard work and patience. It suggests that success requires both diligent effort and the ability to wait for the right outcomes, recognizing that some results take time to manifest. Now I will begin by explaining the themes of the poem to you. There are 4 identified themes in this poem. The first one is the value of life and active living. Longfellow's poem emphasizes the inherent value of life and the importance of living it actively and purposefully. The opening lines reject the idea that life is an empty dream, a concept that implies futility and passivity. Instead, the poet is arguing that life is real and earnest, deserving of our full engagement. The notion that the grave is not its goal, it underscores the belief that life's purpose transcends mere existence and mortality. Life is not just a prelude to death, but a valuable period for meaningful action. This theme encourages readers to see life as a series of opportunities for growth, achievement, and impact. The soul, in Longfellow's view, is something that should never be dormant. A passive or slumbering soul is equated with death. This metaphor highlights the critical importance of staying mentally and spiritually active. The poet's call to act that each tomorrow find us farther than today, it encapsulates the idea of progress and self-improvement. Life should be an ongoing journey of striving towards betterment, where each day is an opportunity to advance further than the previous one. This proactive stance against stagnation urges us to continuously seek personal and moral development. Overall, Longfellow portrays life as something to be actively lived and cherished. It is a powerful reminder of the potential each individual holds. By framing life as a precious dynamic process, the poem encourages a vigorous and engaged approach to existence, fostering a mindset of growth and resilience. The next theme of this poem is mortality and the eternal soul. Another central theme is this distinction between the mortal body and the eternal soul. The poet acknowledges the inevitability of death with the line, "Dust thou art, to dust returnest," referencing the biblical concept of human mortality. However, he contrasts this with the idea that this faith was not spoken of the soul, suggesting that the soul transcends physical death. This theme introduces the idea of immortality in a spiritual sense. While the body may be subject to decay, the soul carries on, implying that our actions and moral character hold eternal significance. This perspective provides a counterbalance to the somber recognition of life's physical end, infusing it with hope and a sense of higher purpose. The poet's imagery of muffled drums beating funerals marchings to the grave, it serves to remind us of our mortality. Yet, it is set against the encouragement to live heroically and actively. By presenting mortality as a given, Longfellow in this poem does not seek to induce fear, but rather to inspire urgency and meaningful action. By encouraging us to be a hero in the strife, Longfellow suggests that our response to life's challenges contributes to the soul's eternal journey. This heroism, not just in grand gestures, but in the consistent, earnest efforts we make in our everyday lives. The poem calls for recognition of our transient nature, not as a cause for despair, but as a motivator for living a life filled with purpose and virtue. Ultimately, this theme fosters a dual recognition. accepting our physical limitations and mortality, while also acknowledging and nurturing the timeless essence of our spiritual and moral selves. This holistic view of existence promotes a balanced life rooted in the reality of human mortality but elevated by the aspirations for eternal significance through our actions and character. The next theme in this poem is the legacy of human action. The poet uses the metaphor of footprints on the sands of time to convey the lasting impression that our lives can make on the world. This idea suggests that our deeds, no matter how small, contribute to a broader tapestry of human history and can inspire future generations. The poet reflects on the lives of great men to illustrate how individuals can leave behind a legacy that transcends their mortal existence. These footprints serve as markers that guide and motivate others, especially those who might be struggling. By framing these legacies as footprints, the poet emphasizes the tangible and lasting nature of human actions. In the stanza, footprints that perhaps another, sailing over life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing shall take heart again, the poet illustrates the ripple effect of our actions. The image of a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, finding hope in the footprint left by others, underscores the potential for our deeds to provide guidance and encouragement to others facing hardships. Thus, the theme, the legacy of human action, highlights the interconnectedness of human experience and the responsibility we have towards each other. Okay. The next theme is optimism and resilience. The poem is also a profound statement on optimism and resilience in the face of life's challenges. From the outset, the poet rejects a pessimistic view of life, arguing instead for a hopeful and determined approach. The rejection of life as an empty dream sets the tone of defiance against despair and encourages a belief in the potential for positive action and change. The poem repeatedly emphasizes the importance of maintaining a positive outlook despite the inevitability of struggles and difficulties. The metaphor of life as bivouac of life suggests that our existence is a temporary encampment in a larger journey where challenges are part of the terrain we must navigate. The call to be a hero in the strife reinforces the idea that facing challenges with courage and determination is a noble and essential part of life. The poet's insistence on action in the living present is a call to resilience. It encourages us to focus on what we can control and to take proactive steps towards our goals rather than being paralyzed by fear or regret. So the poet is advising us to trust no future, however pleasant, and to let the dead past bury its dead. It underscores the importance of living fully in the present when we have the power to make a difference. The concluding lines, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait, encapsulate the essence of resilience. This suggests that perseverance and patience are crucial virtues. Life is a continuous process of striving and achieving, punctuated by the need to wait for the fruits of our labor. This balanced approach combines active pursuit with the wisdom to understand that some outcomes take time. So this optimism, it is not naive, it's not naive, but grounded in the belief that despite the inevitability of death and the presence of hardships, life holds immense potential for meaningfulness and achievement. The next few slides will show the figures of speech from stanzas 1 to 9 for this poem. I'll not be reading out all these for you. You can just pause the video and note these down for your references. The rhyme scheme. So in this beautiful poem, the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B. So in each stanza, the first and the third lines rhyme with each other, and the second and the fourth lines rhyme with each other. This pattern is repeated from stanzas 1 to stanza 9. So this alternative pattern adds a structured and musical quality to the poem. Thank you for listening. Have a great day ahead.